What's up, YouTube? It is Ferg Tactical, and in this video today we're talking about the Glock 48. And the video prior to this, I actually just did it, was a review on my girlfriend's gun, the Glock 43X. And the reason being, I posted a short at one point and somebody asked me to kind of go over the two. This was a while back, and I was like, you know what, let me just do it. This was actually a gun I gifted to my brother-in-law. He is in town right now, so I said, what better time than now to kind of compare the two guns and talk about their likes and differences. That's going to be in the next video that I do, but I specifically want to just talk about this gun. So YouTube, before we get into the video, we are clear. The gun is empty, and as you can see, that is a Glock 48. So honestly, I feel like this gun is very slept on because it kind of gets overshadowed by its smaller brother, which is the Glock 43X. But man, this gun is great because in the last review, what I was talking about was the Glock 43X in particular is a snappy gun. A lot of new shooters gravitate towards that because it's small. You know, you still get a decent grip on it. The grip is almost perfect. I have fairly large hands and I still get almost a full grip on the gun. My pinky does hang off a little bit.
Because he has big ass hands.
But this gun honestly is great, and I kind of like it better than the 43X in some aspects, but not fully. I prefer the 43X for carrying because I jog with that gun quite a bit and it's a lot more comfortable. But this gun has a longer sight radius, so that gives you the ability to make further shots more accurately. Not saying the 43X is not accurate, because it is, but this gun with the little bit extra weight and the longer barrel helps with that recoil. You would think it's not that big of a difference, but it really does make a difference when you're shooting them. You do feel the slide mass a little more than a 43X, but it kind of handles the recoil a bit better. These guns do still have a little bit of recoil though, because they are slim and light and they're a bit snappier than a typical gun that would be this size. But this is a great carry option for most people because it's slim. You have a little bit extra barrel length for more velocity than a lot of your micro 9s. And you get a 10-round capacity. So that's not great, but if you're in a state, hence why I actually got this for him, is because he was moving to a state where they have magazine bans. So you need a 10-round or less capacity magazine in your firearm in the state he lives in, the great state of Washington, Seattle, Washington, that is. Man, that state is something else. But
Stop shit talking and maybe review the gun.
To get drugs there than it
hey,
is
review the gun. Stop shit talking. Let's go.
So this gun has front and rear slide serrations. Of course, the crappy plastic Glock sights as usual. Triggers, whatever, you know, Glock trigger. But essentially, it's technically its own generation because it's the slim line of Glocks, but it basically has everything the Gen 5 has. Now, the only reason I wouldn't advise somebody to get this gun over another gun they're trying to choose is because it is a little bit longer. So if you're trying to have something for like deep concealment, or something that, you know, you're gonna be very active with, this is kind of a nut crusher in terms of like the length on it. It's not super long, but for some people it's gonna just be uncomfortable to carry, point blank period. And also the frame has like a little undercut beaver tail, unlike most Glocks, so you really do get a nice purchase on the gun without having to worry about some of that slide bite that people get on these Glocks. So if you do get this gun, I suggest going the 48X because then you do have the option to put a light on here with the rail cut, and you do have the option to put an optic. I know the 43X, they started making the frames with the cut without the MOS cut up here. I don't know if they did that for the 48, but I would suggest going with the MOS because a lot of times you people that are getting the guns, you kind of along your lines decide you wanna, oh, you know what, let me put a light, let me put an optic on there. So in terms of lighting options, you have really two options that you can go with. You can either like on this 43X, how I have a TLR6 on here, you can do this, get a TLR6 or TLR6 HL, which is brighter than the TLR6. Or you can go with this recovery tactical rail and put a light on the bottom. Now this does add a good bit of bulk because if you look at the gun here, it definitely adds a good bit of extra mass onto the gun, so it makes it thick, a little more girthy. Pause. And you can see there like how it kind of just it's kind of thick. I don't really like this like this. And when this was on my girlfriend's 43X, when we would shoot it, the light will fly off after like 2 mags because it doesn't sit all the way back flush.
Don't judge her because she beautiful.
Stop it. So
she nice and thick.
So overall, I mean, 48, great buy. If I had to pick one for like a jogging gun, I'd prefer like a 43X because, you know, the barrel's shorter. But this is a great gun to carry because it's slim and it's light. Like, if you guys are looking for a gun that is very manageable, this is the one. The only gripe I have about this is it is a 10-round capacity gun, like I mentioned previously. There are 2 ways to fix this, which is either A, going with a shield arms magazine, then you have to change this mag catch out to a metal one and to a metal mag, because if not, these polymer mags will get eaten up if you use them with the metal insert, and if you put the metal insert with these, it will mess them up, or vice versa. If you use the metal shield arms mags with the plastic mag catch, it will eat the mag catch up. On top of that, you can also use the Palmetto State Armory 15-round mag. They have the little plastic polymer on the front, so that way they can easily still run the stock mag catch. I have not tried either one of those. I prefer the OEM reliability. Otherwise, you know, I do want to get a few of those mags, and I'll probably test them out and maybe do a little review on them later on in the future. But overall, this is a great gun to buy. It is very slept on. If you want something a little bit bigger than a 43X, I think this is perfect in terms of, you know, barrel length. You get, you know, bigger sight radius and everything like that. I really hope Glock does make a 15-round magazine for this gun from the factory. It might not happen, but there are, I feel like, other guns that are better to buy in the size range per se. But this is still a great buy. You still get Glock reliability. And yeah, I mean, I really don't have many gripes about this gun. Trigger's decent. It's just a Glock trigger, you know, typical Glock trigger, but can't really go wrong with this gun. I would still carry this gun with no issues if it was my only gun to choose from. So in terms of holster options for like just the gun itself, I got this from my brother-in-law. It's a BSG holster. I have no clue what brand this is because I don't remember. I bought this for him like a year and a half ago now, maybe more.
And got it at the gun store.
Yeah, I was at the gun store, so I don't know. The holsters I do run for my 43X, or my girl's 43X. They are Insane Cottage Creations, Holster, and Slim Fit Holster. And another one I like to use is Foultac Unlimited. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. However, they do make a great product, and I use them for various guns that I own. So if you need a good holster recommendation, or especially a holster with a light, those are all good companies to go with. There are plenty of other companies that I use as well, but those are the ones I typically go to for like my custom holsters. So if there's anything I didn't cover on this particular firearm that you would like to know, drop it down in the comments. Feel free to ask me any questions. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you have any other content you want me to put out. With these guns or pertaining to other guns. Thanks for watching.